Hello students. So today we will be doing some more numerical problems in the topic analysis of T-beams. We have already seen two types of sums that were the neutral axis was in flange, neutral axis was in web. In web also we have seen a case that is XU is greater than DF. So we will be starting with the next sum, which is our advanced version of it. The question here is find Cmax, that is our maximum compressive force, Tu, that is our ultimate tension load, or you can say it as maximum tension, and Mu, that is our moment of resistance for a RCC T-beam having following dimensions. The dimensions are being prescribed in the question. The depth and width of flange, that means this is the depth of flange that is given, that is df, and this one will be the width of flange, that means it is the dimension bf. So bf is being given. Width of web and effective depth, that means this will be the width of web, or we can say bw, and this is our effective depth, or we can say it as small d. So these dimensions are given. Also the quantity of steel is being prescribed. It is 4 numbers of 25 mm diameter bars are used. M20 grade of concrete and Fe415 steel. So this is the question. So we'll be starting with our step 1, that will be the relation between FC and FT. In the entire analysis portion, whether it can be of case 1, case 2, case 3, we will be starting with this step, that is the comparison or the relation between the compressive force, that is FC, and the tension force, that is FT. So to find that, we will be computing first the AST. So AST will be 4 into pi by 4 25 square. It's the diameter is being prescribed, and it comes out to be 1963 mm square. Now the value of FC and FT. FC, the equation is 0.36 FCK BF DF. Entire values are being given in the quotient. The value comes out to be 648,000 Newton, or you can write it as 6.48 into 10 raised to 5. But again reminding, the power of the both the terms, that is the exponential power of FC and exponential power of FT, must be same, and FT can be computed by the equation 0.87 Fi AST. So during or from this cases we can get that the term FT is greater than FC, or you can say that the tension force is more as compared to compression. So if it is so, then the neutral axis will be in the web portion, and since the neutral axis is in web portion, XU will be greater than DF. We have discussed this kind of sum in your previous lecture, but this is a somewhat different sum compared to that one. How it is different, we will be seeing that. So now we will be computing XU. After getting this value, or after getting the relation, our step will be to compute XU, and XU for this case, that will, for the 2.3 case, there are 3 cases we need to refer from page 96, clause G2. 2.1 was for XU less than DF, 2.2 was for XU equal to DF, and 2.3 will be XU greater than DF. So as we are getting the term XU greater than DF, we will be using the equation from 2.3, and for that we need to find XU. So XU can be computed from this equilibrium condition, that is C1 plus C2 equal to T, or the compression forces must be equal to the tension forces. So C1 being the compression force of singly, the equation will be 0.36 FCK BW XU. Now the question arises when to substitute BF and when to substitute BW in this case. So keep in mind, it all depends upon neutral axis. Yeah, if neutral axis is in flange, or whether the sum pertaining to that, if you get neutral axis to be in flange, then this term will be substituted by BF. So it is basically B, that is width. It represents to the location of neutral axis. If the neutral axis is in flange, we will substitute it to be BF. If the neutral axis is in web, as we can see here, we will substitute it by BW. And XU. XU will be the unknown factor that will be solving it, and C2 will be our portion due to slab, or compressive force due to slab. Here the equation can be 0.446, or you can write it as 0.45. It's up to you. FCK BF minus BW into DF, and the RHS portion will be our tension force, that is 0.87 Fi AST, or directly you can mention this value also. So computing this, we get XU equal to 68.75. Now here the question changes, or here the methodology changes. Up till now we were getting, or we were satisfying this equation that XU is greater than DF. We have solved two cases till now. In both the cases we are getting this relation, that is XU is greater than DF. Here in the question DF is given as 100 mm. It is mentioned in question that the depth of flange is 100 mm. So the neutral axis to be in web, the XU must be greater than 100 mm. But as per our equation, or as per our analysis, we are getting the value of XU to be less than 100 mm. So now what? So here up till now our question is not satisfying the conditions that we are getting. So in this case, whenever you are facing this problem will only be faced in this case, that is whenever you are getting XU greater than DF. This you can encounter this problem only and only when the equation becomes XU greater than DF. Okay? And we are getting that XU here, by solving the method, we are getting that XU is less than DF. So now what? So now you need to find the value of XU again using the same equation. We will use this same equation to find the value of XU again, but now we will be using something pertaining to our IAS code. That is, we will be using this equation, that is of YF. Okay? Now in the last lecture we have discussed the difference between YF and DF. DF is the depth of flange, whereas YF is the effective depth of flange. So whenever depth of flange is not satisfying the equation that we have seen, we will always use the term YF in the equations. So we will be using the same equation to find XU, but now the term DF will be substituted by YF. This will be our major change. In the same equation, the term DF will now be substituted by YF. And in the case of YF, we will mention this equation. That is, now YF will be equal to 0.15 XU plus 0.65 DF. So now while solving, or now to solve YF, our YF equation will be 0.15 XU plus 0.65 DF. As XU is unknown, it will be a variable, and DF is being given in question, that is DF is given as 100. So the final equation of YF will be 0.15 XU plus 65, as 0.65 into 100 comes out to be 65. So in the place of DF we will use this equation, that is 0.15 XU plus 65. So we will be getting XU in two cases, that XU can be obtained here also and XU will be getting here also. So solving this equation we will be getting our answer, that is something like this. You will use the same condition, that is C1 plus C2 equal to T. YF will be now come out to be 0.15 XU plus 65. We have seen how. And now the new equation will be something like this. This will be our new equation to solve XU. The only change is DF will be substituted by this term, that is YF, and YF's equation is given in our page 97. Clear? You can refer your IS code page 97. It is given that YF equal to 0.15 XU plus 0.65 DF. So from this new equation we will be getting XU equal to 122.68. Now our answer is correct. Now our XU is greater than DF. So the check is complete, and now from this sum, or for this sum, we will be using XU equal to 122.68 mm. Okay. So this is how you find XU when the conditions are, or when the relation are not satisfied. And next we will be finding the term XUmax. So XUmax, again from the same equation, page 70 of your IS code, you will be getting the value 264. Here XU is less than XUmax, so it will be a URS, that is under reinforced section. Now moving on to our question, that we need to find three cases. First was maximum compressive force, that is FC, we have already obtained. Next was FT, that is our tension force, we have already obtained. And the third question was to find MU, that is moment of resistance. So now we'll be moving towards solving moment of resistance. So to find moment of resistance, we need to see this equation, that is G2.3 from your IS code. Yeah? As it is said that XU max is greater than XU greater than DF, we have proved this case, we will be solving the ratio DF by XU. For G2.3 we will be solving the ratio DF by XU, and if DF by XU is greater than or equal to 0.43, we will be using the equation G2.2, and if the ratio DF by XU is less than or equal to 0.43, we will be using G2.2, and if the equation or if the ratio DF by XU is greater than 0.43, we will be using G2.2.1. So the first step will be to find the ratio DF by XU. DF is given in question as 100 and XU we have obtained 122.68. The latest XU, that is after substituting the term YF. So the equation or the answers comes out to be 0.815, which is greater than 0.43. So we will be using the equation 2.2.1. But keep in mind again, in both the cases we need to substitute XU max by XU. Clear? So XU max will be equal to XU, we will be equal to 122.68 in this case. So now we will be using this equation to solve our moment of resistance, that is MU. So solving it, we will get an answer that MU, that is moment of resistance, will be equal to 358 kilonewton into meter. So this was our first sum. Moving towards the next sum, we will be starting with the basic designing of T-beams. This was, or up till now we have seen the analysis of T-beams, and the next portion will be a basic design of T-beam. And basically design means to calculate the amount of steel. So our next question is, calculate area of steel required, that is AST, for a factored moment of 450 kilonewton into meter. The moment is given, or the factor moment is given 450 kilonewton into meter, and as the moment is given as factor, there is no need to multiply it by the factor of safety, that is 1.5. We will take MU directly to be 450 kilonewton meter for a T-beam having following requirements or dimensions. So width of flange is given in question as 1250, that means BF. Depth of flange is given in question, that means it is given as DF. Width of web BW 250. Overall depth, that means capital D, is given as 600, and effective depth is given as 550. Therefore small d is 550, capital D is 600. So we can take that cover is equal to 50 mm. We are going to use M20 concrete and Fe415 steel. So how to start with the design process? Now to find design, it is just a one-step question. That means to identify the area of steel, it is only one step required, and we will be using the term that are given in the question. Now basically, what is the difference between analysis and design? In analysis, we are always finding the moment of resistance. That means our question ends with moment of resistance, and the number of steel bars are given in question. Design is exactly a reciprocal of our analysis portion. That means we need to find the area of steel, and the moment of resistance is being given in the question. So we will be starting with the same chronology. That means we will be starting with the data given. So MU is given in the question, and MU is given as 450 kilonewton meter. So we will be starting, or our first step will be to start with this problem, or to start with MU that is being given. Clear? And what is MU? MU is moment of resistance. And from mechanics of solids, we have studied the basic fundamental of moment, that is moment is always equal to load into perpendicular distance. Now here we are dealing with two types of load. That is, if you can remember the stress strain diagram, the load were C and T. C were classified into two portions, that is C1 and C2, whereas T will only be a T. It will not be substituted as T1 and T2. Clear? Now to find moment, there are two cases we need to refer. That is, as we know that moments, or the equations of moment, is load into perpendicular distance. These are the load, and the perpendicular distance between these two loads will be the lever arm, that is Z. So we can either use C into Z or T into Z. There are two methods we can use it. We can either use C into Z or T into Z. But one method will be the most beneficial, and it will be less time consuming. First, basically look into the question. What is being asked? We are asked to find the area of steel. Yeah? We are asked to find the area of steel. Now, area of steel, that means we are to find AST. We have to find the term AST. Now, if we look into these two cases, that is C into Z or T into Z, the equation of C, let us take an example of C1. C1, the equation of C1 is 0.36 FCK BXU. Clear? The equation of C1 is 0.36 FCK BXU. In this term, we are not getting the parameter that is to be found, that is AST. The parameter or the variable AST is always obtained in the term T. The tension force is always equal to 0.87 Fi AST. So to find AST, we will be using the compressive force T. We won't be indulging with C1 and C2. Clear? So how to identify whether to use C1 or whether to use T? So now moment is generally load into perpendicular distance, and load, as we have seen, that we will be taking the term or we will be taking the load T. So T will be multiplying by Z. That is load into perpendicular distance, and in this case the perpendicular distance is our lever arm. Clear? So T, the equation of T will be 0.87 Fi AST. Clear? And Z being our section, that is D minus dF by 2 for a T beam, that is our C2 portion or T portion, we can see that. Clear? So for a T beam, our equation will be 0.87 Fi AST into lever arm, that is D minus dF by 2. So from this only equation, or there is only one equation to find area of steel. It is a one-step question, but for a 7-marker question of a GTO examination, we will be doing something more. So now let us start with the sum that what we will be doing it. So first thing will be to find our lever arm, as we discussed. So lever arm being Z equal to D minus dF by 2, it comes out to be 500 mm. And mu, as we have discussed, that we will be using the term T into Z, and T, the equation of T is 0.87 Fi AST. So mu will be 0.87 Fi AST into Z. From this equation, we will be finding AST, that is area of steel. So the AST that is required, we are obtaining it to be 2492. From the equation, we are getting that AST required is 2492 mm square. Now we need to provide the number of bars. Here I have provided composite bars, but it is not mandatory. You can provide a uniform bars if you think so. That is nothing. That is a provision to compulsory provide either composite bars or you can to provide uniform bars. If it is mentioned in question that you need to provide composite bars, then only you need to refer this. That is, you need to provide bars of two different diameters. You can take uniform bars and provide the same diameter also, that is no issue in that. So basically we need that the AST required should be less than the AST provided, or you can say that the area of steel that we need to provide must always be greater than that is required. So the required value is 2492 and the provided value that are provided is 2689. So from the steel table on page number 71 table, this you can refer and find the area of steel that is required or number of bars. So our design sum is completed here. It is a one-step question, but to prove that whether we have completed it correctly or not, we need to check. And to check, that is to complete entire analysis portion again. We have seen the analysis till now. So now to prove that we have provided sufficient amount of steel or we have provided the steel correctly, we need to do the analysis again. That means we need to find mu again using this AST. AST provided, not AST required. Keep in mind, AST required is just a base to see that what number of bars and what amount of steel are you providing. While solving furthermore, we will always use AST equal to value that you have provided. It must be greater than AST. It can vary up to student that what your diameter you are taking and what number of bars are taking, but whichever the value you provide, you must use the same value in the next steps. Clear? So we will be starting with the analysis portion again. The basic aim of the check will be that the mu value obtained from this AST must be greater than what is being asked. That means by using this AST we need to find mu, and that mu should be greater than 450 that is being asked in question. This will be our check. So we need to prove that. So we'll be starting with our analysis portion. It is the same thing, that first we need to compare the relation between FC and FT. That is our compression force and tension force. Here the relation comes that FT is greater. That means tension force is more. So neutral axis will be in web, and as neutral axis is in web, XU will be greater than DF. Now we need to actually check that whether XU is really greater than DF or not. If it is greater than DF, then our equation will be satisfied till then. If it is not, then we will be substituting by YF as we have seen in the previous examples. Yeah? So to find that, or to find XU, we will be using the case C1 plus C2 equal to T. So C1 plus C2 equal to T, using this equation we are getting that XU equal to 38.88 mm, and as DF was 100, so 38.88 is less than 100, so it is not okay. So from this DF equation we won't be getting an answer of XU correctly. So now, as we have seen in the previous sum, we will be substituting DF by YF. Clear? We will be substituting DF by YF. As the DF, that is depth of flange, is given as 100, YF will be again 0.15 XU plus 65. So we will be substituting this value. YF will be 0.15 XU plus 65, and here DF will be substituted by this term, that is 0.15 XU plus 65, and we will be getting XU equal to 122.22. Now the new XU that we found is 122.22, and now this XU is greater than DF. So our equation till now is being satisfied. Now we need to check the relation between XU and XU max. So XU max, again from the same equation that we have used in page number 70 of your IS code, it comes out to be 264. So the ultimate check, that is in clause 2.3, that is XU max must be greater than XU must be greater than DF. This has to be checked in every example where you imply the equation 2.3. Keep in mind this. Okay? So here our entire check is complete. Now we will be moving forward to the ratio, that is DF by XU, to see that whether we will be using the equation 2.2 or 2.2.1. So DF by XU, DF being 100, XU we have obtained as 122.22. So the ratio comes out to be 0.81 in this case, which is greater than 0.43. So as per this statement, that is whenever, as per this statement, that whenever DF by XU exceeds 0.43, we will be using the term or equation 2.2.1. That means this equation we will be using it. But again, keep in mind, XU max will be substituted by XU. So from that equation, XU max will be substituted by XU, that is 122.22, and using this equation we will be finding the value of mu, that is 490.93. Now regarding your G2 examination, keep in mind the question here is to find the area of steel. Here the question is not to find the moment of resistance. So our sum should not complete here. Keep in mind, we have not been asked to find the moment of resistance. We are to find the area of steel, and area of steel has already been provided or already been obtained in our first check that we have seen. Yeah? So here we are just proving or checking that whether we have provided the correct amount of steel or not. So our sum should always complete by this statement, that is the mu that is being found out by the equation must always be greater than what is being asked in the question or what is being given in the question. So keep in mind, the value that is obtained by the final equation must always be greater than the value that is given in the question, and hence this carries 1 mark in your G2 examination. So if you complete your sum here, 1 mark will be deducted, as it is not asked to find the moment of resistance. You are asked to find the area of steel. You are doing this to prove that the area of steel you have provided is correct or not. Clear? So So this is a mandatory statement for you to write. So we'll be keeping our lecture till now. So this will be our today's exercise problem. Solve it as we are starting with the design portion, and we will be seeing in the next lecture. Thank you.